Hi, this is Lane 8492. This is the first of two true crime story videos I'm doing today. This one was a case that happened in Louisiana in the 80s. It was the case of Louisiana death row inmate Andrew Lee Jones. You see, Andrew Lee Jones, he was convicted in the abduction, sexual assault, and murder of his ex-girlfriend's 11-year-old daughter, Tumekica Michelle Jackson, in Scotlandville, which is part of the city of Baton Rouge, the capital and second biggest city in Louisiana. Apparently, when someone went to check on Tumekica Michelle Jackson in her bedroom, she was found to be missing and the window was open. And as a result, she was reported missing. Apparently, her mother had been in a relationship with Andrew Lee Jones, and after she had broke up with him, and he wound up being the number one suspect in the crime. An investigation would eventually lead to the arrest of Andrew Lee Jones, and the DNA at the crime scene matched that of Andrew Lee Jones. He was tried and convicted of first-degree murder in the Baton Rouge Parish Courthouse, was found guilty and sentenced to death for the crime. He would spend a few years on death row at the Louisiana State Penitentiary at Angola. And then he was served his death warrant, setting his execution for July 22nd, 1991. At that time, the Louisiana legislature had passed a bill that made lethal injection now the official method of execution, but it would not take effect until September in that year of 1991, which means Jones would not face the lethal injection. The only statement he gave at his clemency hearing before the parole board at Angola, Louisiana, was that he said he may have done it, he may have not done it, he doesn't remember, but he said it would have never happened had he been drunk at the time of the crime. But then again, being drunk during the time of any crime is not an excuse, just like they say it's never an excuse for anybody to be drunk behind the wheel. There's no excuse for any of it. They still need to pay for what they did. And of course, all of Andrew Lee Jones's appeals were exhausted, and the Louisiana Pardon and Parole Board declined to step in on his behalf. And on July 22nd, 1991, at the age of 35, Andrew Lee Jones was put to death in Louisiana's electric chair. Of course, most states nicknamed the electric chair Old Sparky, but not every state did that. Like Indiana, theirs was Old Betsy. New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Tennessee, their old electric chair was called Old Smoky. Let's see, in Alabama, theirs was called Yellow Mama because it has a coat of yellow paint. And Louisiana called their electric chair Gruesome Gertie. And of course, Andrew Lee Jones would be the final person in Andrew Lee Jones would be the final death row inmate in Louisiana to face the electric chair. After that, the electric chair was decommissioned and is now on display at the Angola, Louisiana Prison Museum. And after lethal injection became the official method of execution, the first one they would execute by this method would be Robert Wayne Sawyer, and 7 more would be executed by lethal injection. Of course, those 8 they executed by lethal injection in Louisiana were Robert Wayne Sawyer in 1993, Thomas Lee Ward in 1995, Antonio Gonzalez James in 1996, John Ashley Brown Jr. in 1997, Dobie Gillis Williams in 1999, Feltus Taylor Jr. in 2000, Leslie Dale Martin in 2002, and Gerald James Bordelon in 2010. And of course, this year, Louisiana executed Jesse Dean Hoffman Jr. by nitrogen hypoxia, which I did a true crime video on a few months ago. Right now, they're trying to request execution dates by nitrogen hypoxia for some other Louisiana death row inmates like Larry Roy, Tracy Lee, and Daryl James Robinson. But when they'll get set, I don't know. Well, hope you enjoy this video and let me know what you think. Thanks.